Hey guys, welcome to History Behind the Warrior, and today we're going to be talking about Hwoarang. Now Hwoarang makes his first ever appearance in Tekken 3, where he was of Korean descent and a student of Beck. Now Hwoarang at a very young age began fighting on the streets. He along with many of his friends would pick fights for money, and Hwoarang was undefeated for doing this as he had always concealed his abilities. Now one day members of the Mishima group came to town, including Jin Kazama. Hwoarang is surprisingly able to convince Jin into a fight, but unlike all of his other fights, this ends in a draw. Hwoarang hangs his head in embarrassment as he can't believe he actually drawed with someone. Hwoarang then vows to practice every single day to guarantee that this would never happen again. When Hwoarang heads back to Beck's dojo, he finds out that Ogre has killed him. Hwoarang then trains as hard as he possibly can with the determination to defeat Jin Kazama and seek vengeance against the god of fighting Ogre. Although it's left rather unknown how far he participated in the King of the Iron Fist tournament. Now during the events of Tekken 4, Hwoarang was drafted into the South Korean military. Now during his military service, he was very successful in his missions and was highly regarded as the best fighter in the South Korean army. However, he did have a knack for disobeying orders, and this led to many problems for him. Hwoarang was uninterested in the military, as it left an emptiness within him. He missed the days where he'd be fighting on the streets, and still longed for his rematch with Jin Kazama. When the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 4 was announced, he left his military post in order to enter. He was determined to defeat Jin Kazama, Heihachi Mishima, and anyone else who dared to face him in the tournament. Hwoarang proceeded quite far in the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 4 and was expected to fight Jin Kazama. However, he was taken into custody by the South Korean military, causing him to forfeit his place in the tournament. At the South Korean embassy, Hwoarang was approached by the ambassador, who told him that his master Beck is in fact alive. Apparently, after his battle with Ogre, Beck was injured that badly that he was in a comatized state. Now a few months later, Hwoarang would be discharged from the South Korean military. This meant that Hwoarang could pursue and do whatever he wished now, and the only thing he had on his mind was to fight Jin Kazama once more. He would enter the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 5 alongside his master Beck, to prove to himself that he was an amazing fighter, and to make his master proud. However, things turned very sour very quickly. Hwoarang got his rematch with Jin Kazama. However, he did not know that Jin Kazama at the time was struggling to control his Devil Gene. So at some point during their battle, Jin would hunch over to try and control the Devil Gene. Hwoarang did not know this and took the opportunity to strike him in the back of the head, apparently knocking out Jin and deeming himself as the winner. Hwoarang wasn't prepared for what happened next, as the Devil Gene took over Jin's body. Hwoarang would be defeated and beaten into unconsciousness by Devil Jin. When he woke up, he was in a hospital when he saw Beck standing next to him. Beck would inform him about what happened. Hwoarang was angry at himself as he felt that he was cheated out of his win, and immediately wanted to get back to training even in his hospital bed. But when he attempted to leave the bed, he simply collapsed as his body was far too weak and he'd been beaten so badly. In due time, he was able to leave the hospital finally, and began training under Beck personally. Hwoarang began training harder than he ever had before, and he was devoted to defeating this Devil Jin. And with the announcement of the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 6 by Jin Kazama, he would instantly enter. Due to the vagueness of Tekken 6 and more of the main focus on Lars and Jin Kazama, we don't really get that much information about Hwoarang, but we'll most likely get more information about what happened to him during Tekken 6 when Tekken 7 is released. But that's really it for the history of Hwoarang so far. I have to admit, he wasn't too bad to cover. I've never really been a fan of this character, but apparently a lot of people do like him. Anyway, as always guys, here's a preview for next Saturday's episode.
My eye talks to me. It's telling me to kill you. The end for you! That felt good to me.
So I figured it was time to cover a fan favourite character, and I thought Juri is an amazing choice. Since she's also one of my favourite characters, I intend to do her justice. So I hope you guys are hyped for next week on Saturday. Stick around for tomorrow as well, because we have another episode of HBTalks. Now as always guys, please comment, like, subscribe and share this video with everyone you know. Take care, and I will see you guys next time.